Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hello everyone, welcome to our channel. So in this video we will tell you the KWL strategy for reading comprehension. So let's check it out.
Alright, so the first thing we have to know is about what is KWL strategy. KWL stands for Know, Want, Learn, was first developed by Alda in 1986 on the basis of the idea that language learners gain knowledge by constructing meaning. This means that the learners can connect the initial knowledge with new information created. KWL provides a framework for learning that can be used across content areas to help students become active constructors of meaning. The letters in name, KWL, actually stands for the process of making meaning that begins with what students know, moves to the articulation of questions of what they want to know, and continues as students record what they learn. The strategy is designed to be used by a teacher and group of students to working together. KWL strategy gives students the purpose of reading and gives students an active role before, during, and after reading. This strategy helps them to think about new information that they receive. This strategy could also strengthen the ability of students to develop questions on various topics.
Okay, next is about the stages of learning using KWL. According to Ogle in Abdulrab 2015, the stages of learning using KWL, there are 5 steps. First is introduce and explain about the strategy for students or a group of students as a whole. The second, define a student's activity sheet, which shows 3 parts by placing K in the first column, W in the second column, and L in the third column. Choose a topic and guide students in brainstorming activity to guide their idea, what they already know about the topic, and then students will place it in column K. Students verbally describe to the lecturers about background information what they have, and then lecturers can write down on whiteboard in column K. Next is guiding students to generating questions. Use probing questions to encourage students to think. This is information for column W, and students will place these questions in column W. Students must be given text or topic they can read independently or in small groups. Text must be managed. Students become familiar with this technique. Reading the text allows students to realize what they have learning and what they have not understood. Next is students can read and find new information. They can add questions in column W. Students continue through the material. They constantly think about what they read, monitor their learning, and may generate questions to guide their reading. When they examine within it words answering their question have been asked, students must record new information in column L, which identifies what they have learned, because in many cases they also know that what they think they know is inaccurate. Next is guide students through the process of categorizing information in column K. This allows them to anticipate the information fields they can find in their research. Have students ask themselves what each statement describes. The process of categorizing strategy by thinking hard while identifying categories and combining and classifying information.
Okay, next is how to use KWL strategy in classroom. In using KWL strategy, the topic must be as interesting as possible and familiar for the students, so they will be easy in stating their prior knowledge. And the teacher can give some intermezzo in learning process in order to reduce the boredom of some students. As we know that KWL stands for K, what I know, W, what I want to know, and L, what I have learned. First, what I know. It means what the students already know, or we can say that is the prior knowledge. The second is what I want to know. It means what the students want to know more about the topic. These two parts are used before the learning process starts. And last is what I have learned. It means what knowledge that the students manage to get and understand after the learning process. This strategy organizes students to engage, guide, and review the material. This finding, in line with Carver 1994 and Elizabeth 2003, say that it is necessary to use information text that contain topics with which the students are familiar. This will allow them to use their prior knowledge and to learn more about the topic. In conclusion, the results of this study show that the use of KWL strategy is effective in teaching students reading comprehension and teaching the other subjects.
Next is advantage of using the KWL strategy for reading comprehension. First is set goals and provide an active role before, during, and after reading. Using this KWL strategy can help teachers, active students, prior knowledge of certain topic and active reading. It can also enhance learning. KWL can be used as a pre-reading strategy and can also function as an assessment of what students have learned during a particular unit. Second is help them think about the new information they receive. This KWL strategy teachers and students to be better understand the topic and remember it. It can be able to react actively to the material. Third is strengthen students' ability to develop questions about various topics. The KWL strategy encourages active learning so that students can develop questions from a variety of topics. Four is assess on learning outcomes. Students determine solutions to problems by making use of skills and information learned in class. 5 is able to understand the contents of a reading without being separated from their active role in linking new knowledge they have acquired beforehand. KWL refers to student prior knowledge of the subject matter. There is a relationship between learning understanding and prior knowledge. High initial understanding is associated with better scores and is also associated with increased learner interest.
The effectiveness of the KWL strategy for reading comprehension in class. Catherine Walker, 9th grade science teacher, uses the KWL plus regularly with her students. She has noted that she likes the framework because it helps her find out what her students bring to their study of different topics and motivates some students to become involved in learning who would normally do so. In her written reflections, Catherine explored the effectiveness of the strategy for this lesson. She wrote, first, the KWL strategy allowed the teacher to learn what students knew about particular topic. Second, it provided teacher with a means of getting more oral participation from non-talkative students when discussion occurs in the classroom. Third, it motivated some inactive students to become involved in both writing and talking. Fourth, it allowed students to become cooperative in their learning while brainstorming. Fifth, it provided a means of additional research generated by student responses rather than teacher-mandated demands. Sixth, it provided a better test base for students to comprehend information about tobacco. The students answered more questions correctly after having worked with the strategy than they usually do. Here are the references of KWL strategy. So, those were our explanation about KWL strategy. Thank you for watching. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.